Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
So sick of politics. I'm so sick of every issue being politicized. It's bad enough we've been mostly isolated since March, but now every issue is politicized, dividing us and polarizing us even further. We're becoming more and more intolerant of each other because we're allowing politics to define our relationships. Can we hit a reset button? Please? Can we try and restore some humanity? Some basic tenets uniting us all, like love thy neighbor, treat others as you want to be treated. My wife told me to be sure to inject some humor into this video, but to be honest, when I look around and see how far we've come from choosing to love one another first and foremost, I just feel sad. Wearing a mask doesn't have to represent a political view. Even if opposing media groups try to politicize the issue, it doesn't mean we have to fall into that trap. I don't like doing anything unless I'm at peace with it. My initial reaction to being asked to do something is always no. Always. And it's not because I'm necessarily against the action, but rather I can't do something unless I'm at peace with it. And if someone I don't trust asks me to do something, I especially resist it, open and shut. So when it comes down to half the country rejecting wearing a mask, I understand how we got there. Simply put, the mandate to wear a mask is coming from a group that half the country doesn't trust. Personally, I believe in the tests that have shown masks to stem the spread of coronavirus. So it makes it easy for me to accept the decree to wear a mask out in public. But if we're going to come together as a country, as a united group of human beings, this issue has to become personal. If we allow our decisions to be driven by a politicized agenda, we're going to remain divided, get nowhere, and perpetuate intolerance from both sides. Our country, our global community, it's in desperate need of healing. We've gotten so wrapped up in opposition and resisting our differences that we've lost touch with the fundamental nature and basic tenets uniting us all. We're a family. You don't have to always agree with your family, but you always have your family's back. Whether you believe that masks are going to save lives and get the economy back on track faster is really secondary to what's needed most right now. Humans coming together to show that we haven't forgotten how to love each other and show up for each other first and foremost. Don't wear a mask because some power figure's telling you to do it. I wouldn't do that either. But if beneath the opposing values and views, you're just a human being who wants to love and be loved, then wear a mask because above all else, it feels better to try to heal the disconnect than strengthen the division. And from there, we can work out our differences and try to learn what makes sense and what doesn't. But for now, why not just simply come together to look out for one another? At the core, there's more that bonds us than separates us. It's okay to have different views and beliefs. I still love everybody, regardless of whether they agree with my values or not. I love everybody because I choose to live in love, not in rejection, not in separation. We're part of a community. And in a time when we can't hug, shake hands, or get together as much as we'd like, maybe it's less important about whether wearing a mask is going to save lives and boost the economy, and more important to rekindle the human connection and sense of caring that can restore some balance and foster some much needed healing. We can choose to not wear a mask in defiance of a mandate coming from someone we don't trust. Or we can choose to wear a mask as an act of caring for others, even if we don't think it's really doing any good. When we wear a mask for that reason, then we're not being controlled by anyone, even if they're trying to control us. I don't enjoy wearing a mask, but at the end of the day, it feels good to know that I spent my day actively loving my neighbors, despite our differences, and despite what effect it will ultimately have on the spread of COVID and the state of our economy. Instead of ending the day with the residual of resistance and opposition, I'm left with the residual of love. And no one can take that away from me. Nothing but love.